Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Blackridge Asset Management is a separate and independent entity from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. And now, today with Denny, here's Denny Artachi.
Good morning. Another beautiful day in South Florida. And Evan, I guess we shouldn't talk about medical issues and post it on YouTube later on.
No.
What do you think?
No, we're not going to do that.
that train is kind of come and gone.
Yeah.
And everything. All right.
Yes.
Well, I have a very special guest. My God, she's got the personality of we can't bottle you up or anything. You're just Marla. What is your last name, Marla?
Marla Brodsky.
Marla Brodsky. So Marla, folks, she has a history of reality. She's a casting director and has produced some famous reality TV shows. So I met Marla, Evan, playing locally at Mulligan's.
Oh, okay.
So, she shows up with her, look at the smile. It's so funny.
When she walked in the door, it was like I felt this radiance around the studio.
So you guys are sweet.
That's what happened when she showed up to the gig, right? Yeah. And there's a bunch of guys. What's going on here? Are they giving something away? So then they parted away, and there was Marla with that smile. Listening to us, and she was like, "Oh, okay." So you caught a couple of shows, right?
Yeah, it was fun. Listen, I went out by myself.
You did.
I really don't know
That's
a lot
dangerous.
of people. It was really funny. It was a Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
It was Rockin' Riverwalk downtown.
That's
Stewart.
right. Yes.
And after the band stopped, I was like, "Well, I'm not ready to go home." In fact, I was gonna go home. I was about to go home, and then I heard more music coming from Mulligan's, and I thought, I'm going to walk over there. I'm by myself. Let's go have fun.
Exactly.
Right.
And
yeah. Boom. I met so many people. I met you. And
yes.
now I have all these new friends. And I love going out by myself. I am not afraid.
So you have a place in Los Angeles, Studio City, yes. and a place here in Hutchinson Island, right?
Yes. But I only have the place in Hutchinson Island, thanks to my brother, actually.
Okay.
Until January.
What happens after January?
Then I got
homeless.
I'm homeless. I got
did you hear that, guys? Marla needs a place to live.
That's right. I'm looking for a man or a house. No, either one.
Get a house.
A
house is more reliable than men are. So, this reality TV shows have really, I can't believe how many there are. So you've done a few of them, but talk about, how did you get into that? How did you, from Florida to Los Angeles, how did you get into that?
Well, first of all, this is quite a story.
Okay.
It was way before reality TV.
Okay.
And if you want to hear the whole story, I'll totally tell you.
Well, I don't know how much time we have, but so
let me start off by telling you that I had nothing to do with television. I was living on the border of basically Boca Raton and Delray Beach.
Okay.
This is 24 years ago.
Okay.
I was living in Florida. I was working at the Boca Raton Resort and Club as an activities coordinator. So basically, I was like Julie McCoy from The Love Boat. And I loved it. This was like my dream job. I'm calling bingo balls. I'm setting up shopping trips, parties, the whole thing. I mean, I was having the blast.
Do you drink caffeine?
I do not.
I gotta know.
I don't do any caffeine.
Yeah, she's like on warp speed.
Seriously, I don't do any drugs. Here's what's crazy. I don't do any drugs. I don't drink. I don't do caffeine.
I know. I did offer to buy you drink. You look at me like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
good.
drink. Yeah.
So you don't drink.
I don't drink.
You don't do drugs.
No.
You don't drink, don't
This
smoke.
Is all
what do you do?
Right. I know. You don't drink, don't smoke.
She's like
what
me. I don't do nothing.
Right.
So
nothing.
Of course, she's so bubbly and positive, right? So all right. So you're the Love Boat Julie,
right? So I'm Love Boat Julie.
Yeah, okay.
I never thought that I would. I never thought that I would leave Florida. I
just found my co-host. I think.
I love it. Are you offering me a job? Let's do this.
I could be.
All right.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm going to skip a little bit of the story, but just
okay.
I did not go to work the day after Mother's Day, 1997.
Okay.
I had to go to court because I got a ticket. Okay, that's another story. But it was a very stormy day. I come home and I press play on the answering machine, and this is the day and age where you still had those answering machines that were on your table, right?
Yes.
So you press play, and it was a message from a guy that I had met 2 years prior who said, "Hey, Marla, it's Steve from California. I want to know if you want to be the assistant to the executive producer of the movie Primary Colors." And I'm like,
where did that come from?
Right. Where'd that come? I met this guy once, never spoke to him again. He was like a cousin of of mine. The guy, Steve.
You didn't sleep with him or anything
like
that?
He was the cousin of a cousin of mine. We drove down to Miami to meet my cousins who were going on a cruise, and he was a cousin of theirs.
And so that's how.
So he calls me. He then says to me,
"Yeah.
You need the interview's tomorrow. You need to fly out, but they don't know the job isn't guaranteed to you. You need to pay for your own way out." And I was like, well, that's a good sell, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I can't do this. So I call my parents because I wasn't even living with them at the time.
Yeah.
And I tell them the story. And my dad's like, well, just go today.
Just go try. Right?
Yeah.
I remember the movie with
Yeah.
John Travolta.
John
yes.
Travolta, right?
Yeah.
And P.S.
Was that
I did
supposed to
it.
be? Was this supposedly about Bill Clinton's story?
That
kind of.
I mean, it was the unofficial Bill Clinton story.
Unofficial. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Emma slapped him for messing around with Jennifer Flowers in that movie too, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that, a politician cheating on their wife. I never heard of such a thing.
By the way, not to like change the subject, but that is one of my new guilty pleasures now because my mom got me into watching it. Is Impeachment: American Crime Story, which is like the Monica Lewinsky story,
Oh
which
my
is so
God.
it's all comes back to Bill Clinton.
All right, so. This is what happens, folks, when you don't do drugs and you don't drink caffeine. Do you sleep much?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm not a good sleeper.
All right. So you get involved in this. That started.
Okay. That started my cat. So there's so many good nooks and crannies in the story, but we're gonna skip it. Like I'll tell you off camera. And if anyone else wants, if anybody else wants to know the other nooks and crannies, you could find me on Facebook or Instagram, Marla's Life or Marla.
So
Brodsky.
Evan, this is funny. During COVID, everything
got
was
to
shut
slow
down. No, it's all right.
Wow.
The hamster keeps going.
So listen, during COVID, everything shut down, right?
Yeah.
For casting, reality TV shows. So Marla decides to come up with her own live Facebook interviewing people from a hot tub. What did you call it?
It was called TJIF, then Jacuzzi. It's Friday. And so I would go live from a jacuzzi or a bubble bath. I'd have guests, and it would always be about dating, romance, sex.
Right. And it took off.
Totally took off. Like
That's
we'd do
crazy.
sex ed trivia at the end of every show. We do
Really?
like 5 or 10 minutes of sex ed trivia. It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So, and people are asking if you're going to do that again, right?
Yes, they're asking if I'm going to bring it back. I went on hiatus a few months back once I started traveling again. And I keep saying yes, absolutely. I just don't know when. To be honest,
I found my new agent right here, Evan. She's gonna take me to places that I just never thought were possible. I'll just get her to talk to him, right?
I'm just like.
So hey, when it came to reality TV, what were some of your favorite shows that you did? Tell the audience, I think you said that one of them was Extreme Makeover. That was one of your favorite shows.
One of my favorite shows. Absolutely. One of my favorite shows was Extreme Makeover. And it's so funny because that was the very first plastic surgery show.
Huge.
It was a huge show. It was on ABC.
Yeah.
And it was the very first plastic surgery show. Like, I don't know if you remember, like nowadays people brag about the plastic surgeons they're going to.
Yeah.
People, oh, I got this and I got that, then I'm doing this, Before this show, people would be like, oh, I'm going to Europe for the summer.
Yeah,
and it was like, you know what I mean?
right.
Like nobody admitted to plastic surgery. Suddenly they'd come back looking so refreshed. They're like, oh, I was just on a nice vacation.
Yeah, but a lot of those plastic, man, they do it and they look like mannequins.
Yeah.
Or their face is frozen. I'm like, can you sue the doctor if they screw you up?
There's one show I'm hooked on. It's called Botched.
Oh, yes.
Love Botched.
And that's where they screw up the plastic surgery.
They fix the screw up.
Yeah, and they fix some serious screw ups.
They do. It's a great show. But with Extreme Makeover, it was a wish fulfillment show. Like it really was. It wasn't about taking somebody who's like an 8 and making them a 10. It was really taking somebody who had been held back because of their looks their entire life and giving them a life back.
I see.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of cool.
It was amazing. And what was fun for me about this show is I was also like the face and the voice of the show. So I traveled around the country doing every national radio talk show, doing every morning show, every news show. I was on Good Morning America. Like I did everything. And it was so much fun for me.
Weren't you offered a job at Good Morning America?
Not Good Morning America, but every radio show that I went to. We were like, oh my God, you have to
Can you imagine someone wanting to hire her? No, impossible.
And by the way, I kick myself every day that I stayed in reality TV.
Why?
No, I mean, I don't. But I wish I did go to radio because I do. I love talking. I love, I really, I love having that. It's funny. I do think that reality TV is a lot like radio talk shows because people.
Is it live though? When they're doing, I mean, how many outtakes do they do? Because I'm curious. I see it and I go, and some of the reality TV shows, like they're living in a house, like Big Brother was one of those. And oh, they're crying and they're sad. Was that staged or was it actually really happening?
No, it happens. Listen, there are definitely times where you will reshoot something.
Okay.
But it really, people have this misconception that it's all scripted and it's
it's
not. That is a lie. It is not. Like we are not telling you to toss the table. We are not telling you to do, you know what I mean? Like that's not, people are just, you know what I mean? People are reacting.
All right, now when she looks at you, I want you to get angry. Do you hear?
No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But what I mean is when I say that like radio is a little bit like reality TV,
Yeah.
meaning that people like to just sit down, decompress, and listen to something else. They want to get lost in somebody else's story. They
Okay,
want to get lost
right.
in somebody else's drama, in somebody else's nightmare, in somebody else's aspiration, whether it's a train wreck that they're watching or whether it's, oh my God, that big, beautiful home. How do I afford that? Whatever it is, people want to get lost. And like
Yes.
sometimes in, radio talk shows, I feel like people are getting lost in the conversations that they're hearing. They don't have to worry about their crap anymore. You know
Well,
what I mean?
I can see why it's more popular because you're not watching a programmed newscast
Yeah.
where people are just telling you how it is
Right.
and giving you their opinion. So I guess they feel like they're engaged in
Yeah.
some fashion.
Yeah.
We're going to take our first break with the very calm Marla Brodsky, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we are back with Marla Brodsky. You know, it's so funny. So I did not know that my producer also watched reality, and he was in reality
huge.
TV. Really?
Huge fan.
Dude, I keep finding stuff about you
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time,
I'm
man.
a junkie
Who
when it
doesn't
comes to
love
stuff
reality?
like that.
I mean, even when people
Well,
like
I
people say they
guess
don't
I'm
love it,
gonna
they're
have to
lying.
start watching
Yeah.
it. So you were before you got into reality, you were actually you were casting for other things, right?
I mean, it's funny. I started on this movie. The first thing I ever did was obviously I was the assistant
Mhm.
executive producer of the movie Primary Colors.
Okay.
While we were on that movie, we ended up going on location to New Orleans and to New York. And even though we weren't wrapped yet, Mike Nichols, who is the director of the film,
Mhm.
his favorite restaurant was Commander's Palace. This is pre-Katrina. This is how long
Okay.
ago it was, okay? So this is the original Commander's Palace. And he decided he wanted to have the wrap party at Commander's Palace.
Okay.
So we have the wrap party at Commander's Palace, and I get up and I sing with the band. And the next day, Mike Nichols calls me in the office because we're not wrapped yet. And he's like, Marla, because he had a very effective voice, right? John, he was great, Mike Nichols. He's like, Marla, John and Emma can't get any work done. They want you to come sing for them, meaning John Travolta and Emma Thompson.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, oh, that's so
Mhm.
funny. Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we finished filming there. We go to New York, we film, we go to LA, we wrap. And now, like, I don't have a job. And somebody calls me and they're like, oh, listen, there is an open mic at the Cinegirl, which is a famous cabaret in LA at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Come on, man. You're telling me an
Okay.
open mic
So-
led to
Yes,
getting into reality
Let me
TV.
tell you, we're almost there. I went to this open mic to the Cinegirl. They ended up. I sang a song. They booked me there to headline. My name was on the big marquee.
That's crazy.
Everything is going great. But then I have to go back to Florida for a couple months for personal reasons. And I go back to LA and my snowball melted. Like I had no idea what to do. And I am somebody who I have to do it myself. If somebody offers me something, I appreciate it. I take it and I run. But I can't ask for help, right?
Why not?
So I just can't do it. I
All right.
can't do it. So I'm sitting there poor and I'm like, what am I going to do? And I read the back of an LA Weekly and it says, earn big dollars being on a game show. So I go in and I audition for a game show. It was called Bobcat's Big Ass Show.
You can't make this stuff up.
No, this is like my lifetime movie. Everybody tune in a couple years. I'm going to be on
Hey, I
Lifetime.
got an idea
No.
for a reality TV show. An older has-been rock star who's a financial planner, plays music, and has a radio show. Hey,
I know where I can cast that guy. I think he is sitting to my left. Oh, that's the first time I got my left and my right.
yes, your left and your right.
So let me tell you.
And Evan will be the guest DJ.
That's right. Evan will have him. We'll have him on all the time, and we may even have him get married at first sight.
Oh no,
I am.
He's
What,
already
22
married.
years
You,
worth.
Wow.
wait, you were in the show Married at First Sight?
Yeah, I was they hired my DJ company when they were
So
filming
funny.
out of
In
Miami.
Miami, okay.
Yeah.
That's
and you
great.
remember the show.
Well,
Yeah.
let me tell you, my mother loves that show. My mother is also a huge fan. Hi, Roberta, if you're listening. My mother is also a huge fan of 90 Day Fiance and the 90 Day Fiance,
Great
like
show.
the other way. It's like,
Oh my
and she
God.
made me watch it with her the other day, and I was sitting there.
Dude,
just
how many reality
It's
TV shows do you watch?
A lot.
There-
Wait a minute.
It's called DVR.
Now I know why you don't sleep, dude.
That's
You
right.
have you're the announcer for the Mets. You have this radio show, the DJ, and you DVR reality TV shows.
That's right.
Oh my God,
It's
this
crazy.
is just
It's
this
a
is
lot.
crazy.
But wait, so let me get back to this game show that I was on. Do you know Bobcat Goldthwait?
No, yes,
Okay,
yes.
it was his show. It was called Bobcat's Big
Oh
Ass
my
Show with the
God.
comedian Bobcat Goldthwait. I end up being the grand prize winner. Now, you may think that sounds cool, but let me tell you something. I didn't win anything great. I gave all the crap to
Nothing.
my parents. I mean, it was fine. I won
All
a
right.
watch. I gave it to my dad. Whatever. I won some stuff. But the thing was, all of the producers and directors and casting directors from that show, they all split off to go do other projects. And anytime they needed like some crazy, sexy, sassy chick,
Yeah.
they called me. And that became my full-time job. Every day I was either on another game show,
Okay.
doing a run through in some executive's office,
Right.
doing some pilot or pitch presentation.
Were they paying you
And
on a salary?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I was getting paid maybe like $100 here, 100, whatever. It was enough for me at the time. Okay. But it was no big deal. The last show that I had done was the very, very first dating show. It was before The Bachelor, before any of these shows. It was called The Dating Story. It was on the Learning Channel when TLC was still called the Learning Channel.
Got it.
Now, this was an episode they repeated at least 15 times a week. It was crazy. Everywhere I went, people would be like, oh my God, you're Marla. That guy still wasn't right for you. Like, we have somebody to set you up with. And what's crazy is my parents were actually on my episode because they had flown out during it.
Did they were they
And-
cheering for you and they wanted it to work out?
It was like, well, here's what's crazy. I lived in a studio apartment at the time. My parents were over. They're laying on the
Living
bed.
dream.
The guy
Yes.
shows up with flowers. We're all laying on one bed. I'm like, you want to sit down on the bed with us? Like, it was funny. So there was a time, so my parents and I were in Mexico on a cruise, and people are pointing like, there's Marla and her parents. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I'm like a game show whore. My career is going nowhere fast. I cannot do this anymore. So when they called me to do
Okay.
the next show, I was like, I can't do it. I got to find a real job. And they said, well, fine. Can you find us people like you? And that was it. That's
that
how
was
I got
it.
into casting
Okay.
until I worked my way up to the top.
So besides Extreme Makeover, what
Yeah.
other show? Name a couple other shows that you really liked or were proud of that you were part of.
That I like. I really loved Phenomenon on NBC. That was with Uri Geller and Chris Angel.
Okay.
And it was like the search for the world's best mentalist. And because I'm really,
Mentalist.
yeah, like I'm really into that magic,
Ah.
and, mentalism. So like for me, it was so much fun to work on. I loved that. One of my favorite shows that I worked on was a recent one. I lived in Rome for a few months
Ah.
with some friends. It was called To Rome for Love. It was on Bravo. It was another dating show. That was a blast. I still don't speak a lick of Italian, but I
Dating show.
loved living in Italy.
Speaking of dating, now Evan,
Yes.
can you imagine going out on a date with Marla?
I am a
And-
barrel of fun.
You know, I can say this much. My friends would probably want to know what she's on because of the amount of like the.
The vibrancy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she's like
I don't understand why she's single.
It happens. She said, I think Marla told me, well, I date a lot until I find a guy that makes me not want to date anymore.
Right.
And I
That's-
said,
that's
well,
what I
good
say.
luck with that. You
Yeah.
know?
I meet a lot of people and I
Okay.
do like to date.
Yes.
But I am looking for the man that makes me not want to meet another man.
Do you swipe left or right?
No, what
I am
does that
mostly
mean?
a left swiper.
You're a left swiper.
I'm
Now, what is
mostly,
that
but I
supposed to
swipe
mean?
right.
She
if-
knows
if-
what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
But I don't.
She'll tell you.
So
What is
are
it?
you on any of the dating apps?
No.
Oh my God.
Tinder.
Denny, Tinder, Bumble. Like there's so many. Like
Plenty of fish.
there's so many dating apps. And by the way, I will say
J
this.
date.
Let's tell you what. I'll introduce you to guys.
Okay.
I'll screen them out for you and everything.
Please.
You vet them.
I'll vet them
You vet 'em.
exactly.
I
You
love
vet 'em.
that.
So what's so funny is Marla said, because tell Evan how you like to eat. You know what you like to eat.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
an eater. Like I'm an eater. Okay.
She's not a
would
salad
never know.
dainty.
I
Are you
She's
like a
like-
steak girl?
love
Yes,
steak.
steak,
A bone and
bread,
ribeye. Forget it. A
Yes.
bone and ribeye, and
Bread.
I love
She's like my
long on the
wife.
bone.
pasta, everything.
Yeah.
She wants to
Yeah.
share. Like when she likes to order a
Yeah.
meal. Hey, I want you to order for both of us. and
Yes.
Let's share.
Yes.
In Jupiter, down where you live, she would go crazy. She's probably already been there.
Where?
Texas Day, Brazil.
Texas Day. You
Oh,
mentioned
I
that.
haven't been.
yes.
I didn't know there was one in Jupiter, but I've been to a
Yes.
Texas de Brazil.
She
Yeah,
does
like-
like Lenora's because
I
of the
like
meatballs.
Lenora's.
Great food.
Yes. Shout out to
So-
Lenora's.
How funny is this, right? You go on a date with Marla. She's high end energy, smart, and she likes steak and pasta and bread.
Mhm.
I love bread. I love
You'd be
bread.
scaring most of the guys away, mommy.
Don't get me wrong. I love a good salad. I do love a good
You
salad
do love
too.
a good salad.
I
All
love a
right.
good salad, but I'm not, I'm not gluten free. I'm not vegan. I'm not this. I'm not on any weird
Exactly.
diet. I don't diet. I don't.
Yeah.
She's a girl you want to bring home to mama. She does. She seems like that kind of girl.
Oh, I love you guys. This is great.
Yeah, she could be the new co-host going forward, ladies and gentlemen. And you got to be my manager. You got to help
All
me
right.
get famous and all that stuff. And
Let me see what I can do.
I think you can. You can be. I think you have a gift of gab. You can make it happen.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
thank you. I
I
appreciate
think
that.
so.
Thank
So,
you.
so when I saw Marla and met her, of course, she was surrounded by all these guys, and I thought it was so funny and hilarious. And did any of them ask you out, like Scott or the other friends of mine that I've known for years?
There were some guys that asked me out that
Yes.
day. Yes.
And?
Scott has become a very good friend of
Scott's a
mine.
great guy.
I
yes.
love Scott. Like, to me, Scott is now like my best friend. Scott, if you're listening, I tell everybody that you're my new best friend. So you better not fail me.
Scott looks
I
the
love
same.
Scott.
He hasn't aged.
I love him.
He now it's funny. Scott is intolerance of what is that wheat germ that everyone goes crazy over?
Oh, he's gluten-free.
Gluten-free, yes.
Yes, he's gluten-free.
So that's how he stays skinny. I said, dude, how do you stay? He goes, well, I can't eat,
Yeah.
bread and pasta and all that.
He can't drink beer.
He can't drink beer.
Yeah.
So that's
But he
how
drinks, but he
stays.
can't drink beer. Yeah.
What I love about the area, as you know, there's a lot of music happening.
Yes.
And we've known each other for so many years. That's a good spot at Mulligan's. There's a bunch of good places for live music. There's Conky Joe's in Jensen Beach.
Mm-hmm.
There's Taco Tea. As a matter of fact, this Friday I'm playing at Pirate Sloth Cove. You should come there. We're going to be outside on the water.
Oh, good.
And then Saturday, let me think. How many brain cells do I have this morning? I'm a little groggy from the show last night. I did a blues show with 5 acts because we're raising money to go to Memphis.
Yeah.
Lots of great talent at the Funky Biscuit in Boca. Oh, Saturday is Taco Tiki in Jensen.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
It's an outdoor place.
Yep.
Great food. You'll like it. They have great tacos. You should tell Scott. Scott can be your date for the evening and everything.
Are you listening to that, Scott? He's already setting us up.
Scott, I'm already setting you up, dude. So don't drop the ball. This area is filled with a lot of good things. I mean, most of your DJ work, is it in the area, Evan, or do you travel a lot?
I would say about 80% of it's anywhere from like Palm Beach, Treasure Coast, and then I do go down to south to Broward and then north to Orlando. I do a lot of stuff in Disney.
Really?
Yeah,
I do a lot of I do Disney weddings. I'm an approved vendor in Disney, so the Disney weddings,
nice.
the Disney weddings are magical. I will say that.
Do you have to show like a vaccine card or anything?
Oh, you well, I haven't done one since COVID hit.
Yeah,
but they have a very heavy vetting program.
Wow.
Yeah, they really.
That's actually a really big deal that you're one of the approved Disney because working for ABC.
Yeah.
I know that like that you have when you get to be like an approved vendor, like that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Are they? I had heard that maybe they were doing more filming in Florida. Is that true? I mean, instead of California or New York for shows and things.
I mean, anytime that somebody can not film in California and make it work, they try to, just because of the expense,
because it's less expensive.
It's less expensive,
right?
But it just really depends on what the show is. I mean, it's
Do we have a caller?
Yeah, it's the president of your fan club.
What?
Yeah, you know who that is.
Let me see who it is.
It's the president of your fan club. You know who it is.
It's the president of Denny Groupie.
It's Palm City Charlie. Yes, Charlie. You remember Marla at the show, right? Do you remember? She was
the California gal?
Yes, you remember her, don't you?
Wow, who could not? I went to say goodbye to Denny, and I said, I don't want to disturb his pitch.
Hi, Charlie.
Hello.
How are you? I'm fabulous. I'm having the best time of my life right now. I'm living my best life.
Oh, are you the California lady?
Yes, Charlie, she is.
Oh, wow.
She's here at the station.
Across the room. I can't sing, but I can picture you.
Are you wooing me? Are you trying to woo me?
I need you in the area. I'm married and I'm happy. I don't fool around, but I like to look.
Well, thanks.
I'm an equal opportunity looker.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
So you can look at the menu. You just can't order any food from it,
Let me
right?
tell you, I was sitting there at a table in St. Louis, Missouri with a bunch of brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to this gorgeous woman. I didn't realize she was a senior. She was a hairdresser.
Okay.
I said, you don't qualify for any of these booster shots. And she said, thank you. I said, you're so beautiful.
Wow.
I like attractive things.
You do, right?
Yeah.
And they feel safe because you tell them that you're happily married.
I am happily married.
Okay.
I can't live without my wife.
That's
She's
good.
my memory. Do you remember the Star Trek movie with Captain Kirk, who went up in the giant penis recently?
Oh my God!
He did.
Can you say that on the air?
It's okay.
Well, he just did, right?
It's a scientific word. It's allowed.
Is it allowed?
Yeah.
So it's only vulgarity that's not allowed.
P word.
Yeah.
I heard about it.
I'm going to the 7:00 show, And Denny does an outrageous show.
Outrageous.
He is fantastic.
Huh?
He can make his guitar talk.
True. I've
Peter
heard
Frampton
Denny is
now, huh?
amazing.
He
Denny
is amazing.
Denny is amazing.
Yep.
I will say, like, when I first heard him playing, I was mesmerized. I stood there, I was like dancing by myself.
He's played here in
I-
the studio. He brought his
He's
guitar
great.
and he sang.
Dancing.
Yeah.
He's
I have
absolutely
to
great.
admit, I was watching you dancing.
I'm flattered. Flattered that you all like my skill sets, and that's why,
Yeah.
Marla, you're
Well-
my agent going forward.
Yep.
And
That's what we're gonna do. We want to do the moon, Denny. You can go up on the next penis shot and you can do the moon.
You know,
That
I
was-
Love
heard
that
about
word.
I heard about Captain Kirk going up in space.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that about? I mean,
It
who
was
did he go up
Wednesday.
with?
Went up
He
with
went
3 other
up
people.
and he came down.
Okay.
Yeah. It was
So is that
11-minute ride up.
so that's the
Well,
latest thing now,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These rich people are going up
Yes.
to space for like
He
10
did not
minutes.
pay though. He was a VIP guest. He
Yeah.
did not
There was
pay.
2 VIP guests
Okay.
and 2 paid.
And he liked the blue.
Yeah.
So what are these people paying, like $250,000 to
Keep
go
going.
up in
Something like
space?
that. It's
Keep
a lot of
going.
money.
More.
And that's
Keep
$1
going.
roughly
million.
We're gonna. Hey, you know what, Denny? We can take past the bucket for you, and maybe a year or so, we'll have enough money to send you up there. How about that?
You know what's crazy?
I
don't
could
even
just
wanna
smoke
go.
some good ganja and think that I'm in space. I mean, it cost me a lot less.
Why don't you come
right?
over
I
and hang
don't
out
even
at my
wanna
house,
go.
Dan? Huh? Come on.
Oh, you have that medical grade stuff going
You
on there,
know,
Charlie?
and a brother of mine in E7 is going to be visiting. He's thinking about moving to my area. So
Wow.
his wife and him, the 3 of us, I'm buying a 4-hose hooker.
Oh my
You come over,
goodness.
Oh,
Denny.
what?
You don't have to
What did
plug
he
up
say?
a hose.
I don't,
You know?
I don't even know what is going on right now. I
What
am.
did he just say? He's buying
You're
a
from
what?
California,
He would be a
lady.
great
Come
guest on
let's-
TJIF.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, he was a guest here on the show because Charlie's been a listener for many years.
Okay.
So I listened and I
Yeah.
said, man, I got to have this guy in the show.
Yeah.
So he is a decorated Vietnam veteran.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Good.
And
Yep,
very,
yep.
very
Thank you
deep
for your
thinker,
service.
but he was also involved in advertising.
Mm.
So Charlie comes in and
I taught
Charlie,
4th grade too, at my grade level. They said, you can teach 4th grade because you know what a 4th grader knows.
That's amazing.
So Charlie, you're what, 73, right? Something
I'm
like
going to
that.
be 74 in just a few days.
Oh,
All right.
happy birthday, Charlie.
So Charlie
Oh,
he comes in,
boy.
he's
Do I
all
get a
ripped,
hug?
in shape.
You could have a big hug. Yes. Big hug.
Okay.
Big
Next, if you go to the Taco Tiki, my wife will watch us hug.
Oh,
And if
that
you
sounds
try
very
anything, that's
Wow,
just like high-
staged.
everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. And you've got a pretty face, so you're not going to get
Aw,
punched.
thank
I'll
you.
protect you. I'll protect you.
You're so sweet.
Your wife
Charlie.
won't
When are you moving
mind.
to the area? Come on, Daddy needs more fans.
I'm here. It's funny. My whole family lives here. And so my brother's been kind enough to kind of lure me back. And so I am here. I've been going back and forth every few weeks since May between California and Florida. So I am trying to move back here permanently. I'm still teetering on it. I'm still trying to decide if I,
I mean,
want
California has
coastal.
got to be cuckoo
Yeah, we're a
nuts
free
there to live
state.
there. It's got to be. I mean, just the homeless situation alone
The homeless situation is
Oh,
is
terrible.
ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I mean, how can they not do something about that?
It's really sad. And you know what it is? It's I'm somebody who loves to walk. I'm a walker.
Yeah.
And I would walk. I'm in Studio City. I would walk to North Hollywood. I would walk to Sherman Oaks. I would walk to other cities. Like I have
Yeah.
no problem walking late at night. I'm a very trusting person.
on
which is
Ventura
probably stupid.
Boulevard there. or
Don't
That's
want to
probably
do that
stupid.
anymore.
But once
No,
the
not in
pandemic,
California.
once the pandemic happened,
Yeah.
and by the way, there were always only homeless people, but once the pandemic happened, it was like an exponential amount more of homeless people moved in, and every underpass there's no more
You
sidewalks.
can't, right. I
You
see
can't
it on
walk
TV.
anywhere.
Yeah,
And it's to the point where literally they're right outside of multi-million-dollar communities and homes.
exactly.
And it's
Businesses.
you just cannot walk. You
Hey,
can't.
you know what's so funny is your governor was
Oh,
reelected by a landslide. You would think that people were tired and go, hell, we got to get rid of. No, it wasn't even close. He
Mhm.
won by a landslide in the recount.
Yeah.
So,
That's
folks,
amazing.
that's why, I moved out of Los Angeles in the late 90s. I mean, I was there from the early 90s to the late 90s. It was an interesting time. So I was there during the big earthquake,
Mhm.
the O.J. Simpson trial, the
the good
race
stuff.
riots, the mudslides, the fires. I saw Reginald Denny I literally called and saw Reginald Denny getting beaten, and they threatened if I didn't hang up that they were going to come arrest me. I was reporting Reginald Denny getting hit, and so it was kind of nuts back then. But I cannot imagine now with all that homeless situation, and a lot of the there's so many illegal aliens there now too, and you have they have sanctuary cities there that you can go and be protected. I'm sorry, folks, but that's a little bit nutso for me to think about living. And what about you, Evan? I mean, all the homeless and the craziness there.
I'm very comfortable where I am.
Exactly right. You don't need to.
I do love it here. I really want to move back. My mom is here. I really want to be next to her. My brother and his gorgeous family is here.
That's great.
And I love hanging out with him. And then my other brother, I have another brother and his wonderful family out in Oviedo and Orlando. I'm going to be hanging out with him in a few weeks. So I really want to move back. I do. It's just got to be the right. It's got to be the right.
We got to come up with our own production company. We got to think big. We got to take this New York, Chicago distribution, man. Okay.
We're not going to hire Sinking Ships Entertainment.
Sinking Ships, dude. Why would you give it? Why would you give it a name like Sinking Ships?
Kamala Harris hired to do her little space thing with the child actors. Everything is a show.
Hey, Charlie, you think she'd make a good co-host of mine, right, with the Denny Show?
Well, she could make a good bartender at Conky Joe's, maybe. That's about it.
Dude, why would she want to serve drunks? Hitting on her every 3 minutes and stuff.
Well,
you know what it is? It's not. Listen, you're an attractive lady, but it's your personality that they'll just.
And I hope our newest groupie is going to show up at Taco Tiki.
I want to see you hug her and make your wife smile.
She actually smiles when she was, I'm taking her out now. With no more hiding.
Listen, if I don't make it to Taco Tiki, I'll for sure try to make it on Sunday to Mulligan's.
You see, that's
up to I'm not there Sunday.
Friday you're at Pirates
Friday
Cove.
I'm at Pirates Cove. In Salerno.
Right.
Sunday I have to do.
Thursday I'm taking a bunch of people to King Neptune.
What is that?
King Neptune is a little restaurant that's phenomenal food. It's on
Salerno.
The corner there by Pirates Cove,
Yeah.
Or Salerno. I know the owner. He was anyway, we go way back, but
nice.
That place, Denny, you go for this seafood bisque to die for.
Oh.
Fantastic.
So wait a minute. So how come you can't come to Taco Tiki on Saturday?
I might be able to.
Next Thursday.
No. Wait.
Denny's upset.
We're on Saturday. I
want
to film the hug, Charlie, of you and Marla with your wife watching. That's a reality TV show right there.
Yes, Denny's upset that I may not be there. He knows you're coming, but there's a problem with
I want to see the hug with Charlie. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Charlie, as always,
I'll run into you guys for sure.
I know you will. Thanks for calling in, brother.
Adios.
Bye, Charlie.
So he's so funny. He was ripped.
Yeah.
He has the Hulk Hogan mustache going down, was wearing his proud hat of a Vietnam veteran. And, last weekend, I did a golf charity tournament for homeless vets.
Yeah.
It was very successful. A lot of veterans. I cannot believe the sad reality of how many homeless vets there are.
Yeah.
I guess what it is especially the enlisted, not the officers. You have this job, either a tank or whatever it is, and you go back into the civilian life with PTSD. It's hard to find a job.
Yeah.
So these people who defended our country, so many of them are homeless. And it was sad, but it was, very successful. I'd like to do more. I'm a veteran myself. And it's just sad that, we should be helping them instead of just homeless people that pitch tents everywhere. We don't have that problem, though, here in Florida.
No, I know.
We have homeless, but
you really don't see them, though.
But they're not pitching tents in front of $1 million homes.
No,
and
it's crazy. It's unbelievable. And it's funny because the weather is so beautiful here. You'd think that they'd
exactly right.
Here.
Yeah.
It is. The streets are so clean here.
Yeah.
Like in LA, you can't even walk on the sidewalks.
You can't do it. They're there.
There's just
are they set up in Hollywood too? Like
everywhere.
in Hollywood Boulevard?
Everywhere. And here's what is the most crazy part to me. Instead of, they're like, you know what? We're going to make it easier for you instead of trying to like move you to somewhere or like give you something. We're going to give you a porta shower and a porta potty.
Right. Something.
And they deliver that stuff. So that's there too. There's like portable showers and portable.
So they
potties.
they put it in there.
Yes.
So
it's almost like promoting. Like, please stay on the streets, please, by all means.
I don't get it. I mean, you know what's sad? If you do own a nice house or a business, I guess you legally can't tell them to leave, huh? They have they have a right to stay there.
It's I don't even know what is going on right now.
That's Cali, baby.
Parts of it, like they are trying to claim. I mean, here's the sad part because even like before this, I used to say, I'm like, well, I don't understand. There's because they do offer them housing, they do, but you can't make them go, and a lot of them legally, you can't legally make them go, and if they want to stay on the streets, which some of them really do, some of them would rather, they're more comfortable staying on the street than they are going to a shelter, which in my mind, especially after watching Orange is the New Black, like I would rather commit a crime and go to jail, like and have like at least 3 meals, some friends.
You know, a lot of people, not people in their right minds feel that way. They say, hey, at least in jail or prison, I've got free meals, free
you get to work out, you make friends.
I'm sorry. I said this once and my producer's eyes got very large because I said to him, the last thing I would do is to do anything that would make me make me go live with a bunch of guys in a cage together. Sorry, not going to happen. I just don't understand how you would. Yeah. I guess you've hit rock bottom if you think that's a good alternative.
That is rock bottom.
Free rent, free food.
That is rock bottom. And
I'm sorry.
I joke when I say that. But it's really funny. I used to, I was married before, I'm divorced.
Okay.
But and I used to joke with my ex-husband because we'd watch Orange is the New Black. And I'm like, God, this looks so much fun. And I would.
Do you have any kids, Marla?
I do not.
Okay.
I have no kids.
And Evan, Evan's 4 kids.
You have 4 kids.
This is his third marriage.
Yep. Third time's a charm. Got an 18-year-old, 29-year-old twins, and a 31-year-old and a grandbaby.
Wow. Now you know why
with one more on the way.
Oh my
goodness. Good for you. Congratulations. That's great. That's great.
Thanks. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
So reality TV is still in full swing, right? There's still, or is it has it cooled off?
No, first of all, reality TV is never going to cool off. I mean, that's impossible. But I will tell you that here's the misconception. Okay. Reality TV, though, to me, and again, this is just my opinion, is not what it used to be. And the reason why I say that is because there used to be a certain amount of networks and a certain amount of cable networks, and, a new show would come on and everybody would flock to watch it. Now, the real estate has become so diluted that it's impossible to get eyeballs. There's too many networks, too many streaming services, there's so many places to watch shows that the same amount of eyeballs is now being spread way too thin to really garner a lot of attention. So it's harder to now sell shows. It's harder to get new things on the air because these executives can't take the risk because if the eyeballs don't come, they're going to lose their jobs. So you're seeing a lot of derivatives.
So they're doing it online? They're doing it online? Is that where they're watching these shows?
A lot of them are. Oh my God, a lot. Yeah, there's so many streaming services now. Oh my gosh, yes. Every main network has a streaming service. There's
so how do the streaming services they make their money through advertisements as well?
It just that depends on what streaming service you are. And I am not the talker of the, but they have their subscription services, there's free services, there's of course ad revenue on them, but it's just there's too many places to watch stuff. Do you know what I mean?
See, yeah.
And it's funny, like TV is just changing. I don't know about you, but I know like most of my friends, they don't even have cable anymore. Like nobody has cable.
Smart
they get Netflix.
TV.
They get Netflix. They watch YouTube Run.
TV,
Hulu, everything. Amazon Prime, Peacock.
Well, I think talk radio is still doing very well because people want to hear, like you say, they want a live experience that's engaged. It's not scripted. They want to hear real stories. They want to be able to compare their lives to what's going on.
Yes.
I think I have one more begging for dollars commercial coming up. We're going to come back with Today with Denny with a special guest, Marla Mcbride, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back on Today with Denny. Yes, we were talking before that, this radio show I enjoy because I get to interview different people like yourself. I mean, everyone knows I'm a financial guy. I manage money. They know about my music background. But I think what I like about the radio medium is, yeah, you can interview different people from different walks of life. I've had healers on the show. I've had CEOs, chartered financial analysts. So I think that more people are enjoying radio than TV, like you say, because a lot of first of all, I don't watch much TV anymore. What I do is I'll record. There's some favorite shows that I've watched for years because I like the characters. Like I still like Law and Order, those kind of series. And I record them and see them at night when I'm going to sleep. So that's it. As far as news, I have to keep up with it because it's relevant to the stock market and everything. And Evan and I, we don't like to get too political on the show. I've had friends of mine from the Republican Party. I invite people from a Democratic Party, but none of them have taken me up on it. I don't know why. I have an open mind. I'm unapologetically a conservative because of fiscal policies. I think we're spending money too much. I don't like all the free social programs that they're talking about. But the offer is always out there. I was thinking about also maybe having my mom on the show because she is a hoot for an 81-year-old.
Yes,
I mean,
I love it.
She, kind of like you. She does drink coffee, but just 1 cup in the morning. Because if she drank more than that, forget it. She'd be spinning off the walls.
I would shake if I drank a cup of coffee.
You would,
if
right?
I even drink a Diet Coke nowadays after
really
2 o'clock in the
affects you.
afternoon,
No
I will
kidding.
not sleep the entire night.
Holy crap! Did you ever drink coffee? Or
I was never a coffee drinker. I used to love Diet Coke.
Diet Coke,
not regular, and because it tastes different.
Okay.
I like the taste of fake sugar.
So
better.
how many of those Diet Cokes did you drink?
I mean, I just used to love the taste of Diet Coke. I just used to drink Diet Coke, but I stopped. I totally stopped.
And you
drinking
never
soda.
drank alcohol?
I'm not sober. I do drink every once in a blue moon, but I'm not a drinker. I have a very low tolerance for alcohol. I have like the tolerance of like a fruit
two
fly.
drinks and you turn into Joe Biden?
I pass out. I will be throwing up. I'm like,
she's one and done.
I'm a very cheap date. I like to tell people I'm a cheap date. I'm a cheap date.
Scott, when you take her out, 1 drink, buddy. That's it.
Scott knows that. We already talked about
does?
it.
Oh,
I already told
mentioned
Scott.
that.
I told Scott. Yeah. But no, I tell every guy that I go out with, I let them know, like, up front, like, listen, I am not a drinker. Like, by all means, feel free to drink, but like, do not. What I cannot stand, and I hate this, is when someone's like, "Oh, come on, you could just have one." And for me, I'm like, yeah, I could, but like, I don't want just one. If I'm gonna drink, I'm going out to party. First of all, and like, second of all, like, I don't need it. It's so funny. Scott just texted me.
What did he say?
Sorry, is it just to leave? So I was going to be on the radio. Let's finish up. Oh yeah, he wrote.
Call in, Scott. Don't be a chicken.
You can call in, Scott. Denny is saying, but he said, sorry, I was in such a rush to leave Sunday. I was going to suggest that being on the radio show would be a fun, great show. Thanks for the shout out.
Oh my goodness. It's what you say. I hate that. Like, for example, once in a while, I won't drink for like a month. Just to clean up. I had a couple of bourbons last night. Felt good. Wasn't sloppy. Wasn't stupid. Yeah. But when I don't drink and people look at me funny, I go, is there a problem? I mean, are you uncomfortable that I'm not drinking?
Do I look like I need a cocktail to be the first one on the dance floor? Do you think I need to be the first?
Listen, that's the problem because look, alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs out there.
Right.
I've always said I'm not an alcoholic, but I've played one in real life many friggin' times.
Yeah.
And it all starts off with, I'm playing, hey, have a shot. Yeah.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, oh my God, I've had like 5 or 6 drinks and that's not cool.
It adds up. You know what's so funny? It's like,
it's not cool.
I've realized, and by the way, I have no learning curve. Let's put that out there. Okay. So I've made this mistake 1,000 times. And I always end up throwing up. First of all, that's number one. Like
that's always sexy when your date throws up.
I'm always I will throw that's it. Like if I'm drinking too much, I will end up throwing up. But the point is, I've realized that when I'm out drinking, there's only 20 seconds that really feel good. You know what I mean?
There's
like 20 seconds because you're drinking until you get to that point, right? And then once you're at that point, you're like, oh, let's keep the party going.
Exactly.
And then you keep drinking.
Well,
and then you get sick.
And that's the problem, right? Because what happens with alcohol, it's almost like eating till you're full, right?
Right.
If you eat till you're full,
10
minutes later, you are a pregnant beach whale.
That is me.
So with alcohol, you keep I'm feeling good. Yeah. Yes. And all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, that Mike Tyson uppercut hits your jaw. And you're,
I know. What? I hate it. I hate the way I feel when I drink.
Right.
I just hate
so,
it.
I'm govern yourself accordingly, because my God, you don't want to be in your car and kill somebody or yourself.
Oh yeah, no, I
It's
would never
it's
drink and drive. Yeah, that's no.
it's terrible. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not I do drink, but
Mhm.
I try and really pick and choose. You know, if I'm gonna get crocked, I'd rather do it in my home when I
Yeah.
don't have to drive or do anything.
Yeah, yeah.
That to me just makes more sense.
Right,
But what do I know?
right.
So, reality TV in Florida, we got to figure it out. No, wait, we're working on the Denny Artachi career. That's right.
There's
'Cause
a lot going. I
you're
feel
my
like I
new
just came up with a huge.
manager.
Now I have like a huge to-do list. Here, I just thought it was
Yes,
a nice,
you do.
calming Thursday morning, and now it's like I have this big to-do list. I was gonna go visit my mom after this.
Well, it
maybe
doesn't
call
have
my
to happen
brother.
today. I mean, I yeah, I may recruit you as my co-host because
I would love that. Oh, we need,
Uh,
and then can I help you get? Can we get other guests too? I can help you get other
absolutely,
guests.
yeah.
We could have my brother's a doctor. Maybe he'd want to come on. He's really funny. My mom's psychic.
I think I would do it just to see the expressions on Evan's face, my producer. Because sometimes he tries to reel me in when I get a little bit,
I would love to be your co-host. I would
He's
love
like-
to be your co-host. This is fun for me.
He's like, you need a break, okay? You need.
I love it. You have no idea the topics we could come up with. This is a blast.
Oh, just remember though, we can't post 2 minutes. Is there a call? Oh, okay. Is this for your extended auto warranty? We have 2 minutes before Evan gets the hook. And so, all right. So you may show up Saturday. You're
I
not
may show up
sure.
Saturday.
Okay.
What if I have a date? I may have a date on
You should bring a
Saturday.
date. Yeah, you should.
I will see.
Yeah, bring him.
We'll see.
And Friday I'm at the Pirates. Pirates is good because
love
we're
Pirates.
going to be outside instead of inside in the cave. But then Sunday I'm playing for the South Florida Blues Picnic.
Where's that?
And that's going to be in like Coral Springs.
Oh, that's fine.
So the problem with me is I need to have days off. There's
Oh,
if I
yeah.
don't
Do you work 7 days a week?
a lot of times I wind up not with a day off for a couple of
Wow.
weeks.
Oh, Denny, that's terrible.
And then I start feeling crispy.
yeah,
So
that's rough.
that's another reason why whatever I do, I got to make sure that the alcohol is minimized
right.
because you can't get crocked and wake up the next day, run a business, be fresh, go to the gym. I usually like to be at the gym first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing that alcohol can get in the way of that. I don't know too many people at the gym at 6 a.m. that tied one on the night before.
right. No, I get it. I work out
doesn't
except for
help.
this morning. I work out every single morning. Every
And it
morning.
helps. It keeps the
I love
stress
it.
level down.
Love
Yes.
it. Yes.
So, in life, you try and live cleanly as much as you can. You try not to watch TV too much. I mean, my God, right now the world is just nuts.
The world is a mess.
And I say, folks, you can create your own reality. And one of the things you can do is shut down that damn TV. Well, now reality TV shows, that might be fun.
Reality's good.
But reality's good because you're escaping into something. But
yeah.
the negativity of a lot of news channels is just so overwhelming.
It's hard to watch the news all the time.
It really is.
It's hard to watch
You have
the
to
news.
desensitize
Yeah,
yourself to
I can't
watch
do it. In fact, I was at my mother's house the other day and she had the news and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm like,
Can't do it.
I have a headache. I can't do
Right.
it. Turn it off. Turn it off.
You should listen to Today with Denny. We talk about positive.
That's right. We smile, we
enlightening,
laugh.
comical situations.
Listen, Denny, I have to thank you for inviting me on the show. I had
It's
such
great.
a wonderful time.
You
really.
will be back.
I can't wait.
You're in trouble now.
I can't wait. I'm
Uh,
counting the days.
Just to see the expression on Evan's face.
I
That's
love
all.
it. I
That's
can't
what's
wait.
worth it.
Can't
So,
wait.
folks, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week on Today with Denny. Make it a great day, and be thankful if you have your health, your sanity, and more than $50 in the bank, okay?
The preceding was a paid program. The content is provided by the advertiser. WSTU, its staff, management, and owners are not responsible for the content. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Blackridge Asset Management is a separate and independent entity from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Member, FINRA, SIPC.